Another question, why does the Lord have to create us at all? Make us suffer, realize we are not our gross bodies, and then lead us on the path of salvation and make us live through so many lifetimes. Looks like Krishna is a very sadistic guy. Huh? He created us and put us into this material world, suffer. And so make us suffer, undergo so much distress, and then take us out. So this looks like a sadistic personality. Actually, what we have to understand is the nature of any living person. The nature of any living person, the distinguishing feature of a living person from a non-living dead matter. One fundamental feature, there are many features, one fundamental feature is the desire to be happy. A dead piece of steel like this cannot desire to become happy. But I, as a living person, have a desire to be happy. Isn't this true? This is true of everyone, every living entity, whether even a bird or a beast or an animal, all human beings also, all of us want to be happy. This is a fundamental, inseparable characteristic of a living entity. Now, why do we have this symptom or that characteristic or that desire to be happy? We don't desire to be distressed. Like the Bhagavatam says, Tasyaiva hetoha prayate takovido na labhyate brahmatam uparyadaha. So, labhyate dukkham. So, just like in our lives, nobody wants distress. Tallabhyate dukkhavat anyataha sukham. Although we strive, we work hard, we endeavor, we put in so much stress to become happy, nobody works hard to become distressed. Nobody works hard. Oh, let me go and catch a fever. Let me catch some, disease like cancer. Nobody works hard. But disease comes on its own accord. Everybody works hard to get happiness and to prevent distress. We will go to the doctor, we will get vaccination, we will go and take, every year we will go and do our medical checkup. All these things, why we do? To prevent disease. But still disease will come. Kalena sarvatra gavira ramhasa. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop disease. Nobody can stop old age. Nobody can stop death. Nobody can stop birth. Although we may try our best. But on the other hand, although we don't endeavor to get distress, we are constantly getting distress. But then constantly we are endeavoring for happiness. Bhagavatam says, just like distress also comes without endeavoring, happiness also will come without endeavoring. This is the reality. But still, our nature is, we are actively looking for happiness. So we cannot prevent ourselves. We'll keep searching for happiness. Now, why this propensity is there in us innately to look for happiness? Because we are part and parcel of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And that Supreme Lord Krishna himself has this propensity that he wants to enjoy. But the difference is, Krishna, when he wants to enjoy, he does not have to seek that enjoyment outside of himself. When we seek happiness because it is lacking in us. And we have to seek our happiness in relationship outside of us. We have to search for a girlfriend who is different from us. We have to search for happiness in our parents who are different personalities. We have to search for happiness in our brothers and sisters and our friends. Right? These are all the different personalities from whom we want happiness. Or we want to eat some good food and we want to become happy. We want to hear some good music and we want to become happy. All these happiness, we are dependent upon outside sources to become happy. Whereas Krishna, when he wants to become happy, he doesn't have to depend upon anybody outside. What does Krishna do? So, Anandamayo Abhyasat. Krishna desires to become happy. Then what happens? Eko Bahusyam. He divides himself, his energy divides into multiple living entities to relate with him in different relationships as father, mother, sister, brother, as his servant, as his friends, as his girlfriends, as his queens. All these personalities are expansions of Krishna's own energy, and Krishna enjoys different relationships with them. Krishna enjoys the relationship of being a younger brother to Balaram. And who is Balaram? Balaram is Krishna's own expansion. Krishna's parents, who are Krishna's parents? Yashodama and Nanda Maharaj. And who are Yashodama and Nanda Maharaj? They are expansions of Krishna's Hladini Shakti. So like this, all of us also, we are expansions of Krishna's energy, meant to relate with Krishna in happiness and exchange wonderful, happy relationship with Krishna. Now, when we say happy relationship, when can we have a happy relationship? Suppose you have a girlfriend. You have a happy relationship with her when there is love between the two of you. Suppose some reason happens, the love is lost and the relationship becomes bitter. What will happen? Break up. So you will not be able to remain together. Right? Even with your parents also. If there is love between your parents and you, the relationship will be very sweet. And if there is no love, it will be full of distress. It will be frustration, anger, despair, all bitterness in the heart, all these things. So love is the prime or the root cause of pleasure in a relationship. And when we speak of love, love has to be voluntary. It cannot be forced. Suppose you are having a very bad time with your girlfriend and there is too much of distress happening, and you decide, no, I want to set right this relationship. I want to have a happy, sweet relationship with my girlfriend. So take out a pistol, go and place it on her head and tell her, do you love me or not? What will happen? That way you cannot get love. So love has to come of its own voluntary accord. Otherwise you cannot get love. Therefore, Krishna, when he expands, when his energy expands into all the living entities, all of us, we are all given the faculty of free will. We are given the freedom to love Krishna or not to love Krishna. Then only there is meaning to a loving relationship. No. If I don't have that choice at all whether to love you or not, then where is the question of love? The question of love comes when there is choice. I have the choice whether to love you or not to love you. Then there is love. I can voluntarily love you. If there is no choice at all, it cannot be love. It will be a robotic relationship. So, Krishna, when all of us, Eko Bahusyam, what happened? He gave all of us free will. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna advised Arjuna so many things. And at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter, what did Lord Krishna tell Arjuna? Arjuna, I have told you everything that I have to tell. Yathe ichhasi tatha karo. Now you decide what you want to do. Do you want to follow my instruction or not follow my instruction? I leave it to you. Krishna respects our free will. So, Krishna has given us free will and given us the choice to love him or not to love him. So, you misuse that free will and decide, no, I don't want to love Krishna, I want to enjoy independent of Krishna. Krishna says, okay, go to the material world and try to be there. So, our coming to this material world, this place of distress, is not Krishna's choice, it is our choice. What is Krishna's choice? What is Krishna's desire? Krishna wants all of us to go back to the spiritual world and be happy with him. That is why Krishna, incarnates as so many personalities, as Lord Ramachandra, as Narasimhadev, as Vamanadev, all these personalities. Why does he incarnate? He has no necessity to come to this material world, but he comes. Why? Because he desires that we should leave this material world and go with him to the spiritual world. Not only does Krishna send incarnations, Krishna personally comes. Not only does Krishna come and his incarnations come, Krishna sends his devotees from the spiritual world and he tells them, go to the material world, act as acharyas and teach those souls how to love me and bring them back to me. And that is how personalities like Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Srila Prabhupada, all these personalities come to awaken us to this knowledge that we have a wonderful, sweet, loving relationship with Krishna, reawaken our relationship, leave this distressful material world and go back to Him. So Krishna is not a sadistic person. He does not want us to suffer. It is our choice. Just like this government has, whenever the government creates a new township or a new city, what happens? The government also builds jails, prison houses. So why does the government build a jail? Because the government wants to create suffering, wants to capture living entities, put them in the jail and make them suffer and enjoy. Is that the desire of the government? No. Government is not interested. Government's headache to maintain those jails. But the government knows there will be some people who will break the law. And people who break the law, they will create disturbance in the free society, so put them in the jail. And if you are following the law, if you are not a criminal, if you are following the law, the government will not come and question you. The government will not come and ask you, what are you doing? And the government will not discipline you, what you should do, what job you should do, what time you should get up, where you should sleep. The government will not bother about any of those things. You can take whatever job you want. You can get educated in whatever field you want. You can spend the money whatever you want. You can buy whatever clothes you want. You can choose, I like red color, green color, yellow color. The government will not ask anything. You are free to do what you want. But the moment you commit a crime, the police will catch you, put you in the jail. The moment you go to the jail, what happens? You have to wear this white cloth, this jail dress only. You cannot say, no, I like green color dress, give me green color. No, they wear this only. And food, I want to eat whatever food I want. No, this is the jail food. Stale, rotten, spoiled, whatever you have to eat, this only. When you are outside world, the government does not control all these things. When you go to the prison, you will get control. So similarly, in the spiritual world, we are free. But when we come to this material world, we get controlled by material nature. So, the government is not catching people and putting them into the jail. Whenever somebody breaks the law, then the government will come to the doorstep, the police will come to the doorstep. If you have not committed any crime, the police cannot enter your house. If the police come to your house, knock on your door, I want to search your house, what will you tell? Do you have a search warrant? If you have a search warrant, if I have committed any crime, you can come in. Otherwise, you cannot come. Police cannot enter. They have no right. You see? But if you commit a crime, then you cannot stop the police from searching your house. This is how it is. So, the government is not forcing you to commit crime. Right? Government has left you free. You do whatever you want. Moment you commit a crime, the government will come and control you. Similarly, if you are in the spiritual world and if you are surrendered to Krishna, you are free. But the moment you desire, no, I don't want to surrender to Krishna, I want to enjoy by myself, immediately you are put into the material world and you have to undergo all kinds of sufferings. So for that, the responsibility lies with us. It is our desire which brought us to this material world, not Krishna's desire. Krishna never desires that we should rot in this material world. That is why Krishna has given Bhagavad Gita, he gives Bhagavatam, he comes himself, he sends the Acharyas, he personally comes, his avatars come, all of that simply to advise us and show us the path back to Godhead. So therefore, Krishna is not that kind of sadistic personality that he wants to make us suffer. We have brought the suffering upon ourselves, just like criminals. They also had a choice before they committed the crime to live freely in the city like all of us. But they chose to commit a crime and therefore they are in the prison. Now we cannot blame the government. Why the government made him commit the crime and go to the jail? You cannot ask that question. So similarly, Krishna also gave us that choice, that free will, and we misuse that free will, so we are here today. So the responsibility lies with us.